Welcome to the Beyond The Cubicle podcast. Hey. Got a special guest in the building today.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I'm one of your humble and gracious hosts, Brian Montgomery. To my far left is
the old guy,
the OG, Eric Kelly. And to my left is our special guest, Mr. Xav Handfield.
He got something for you.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
We'll get to all his credentials in a second. But as you guys know, like, our focus is to help you get better results in your career by giving you practical advice and tips, while also helping you become a better version of you. Right?
That's it.
So on today's episode, we're going to be diving into personal development. I mean, you guys know our philosophy is PIES, P-I-E-S, which stands for...
PIES is performance.
Yep.
That's the P. You got to bring something to get some.
I is for...
Image. You got to look like you're doing what you're doing when you're doing it.
E is for...
Exposure. Who knows you and who knows you positively.
And the big S...
is spirituality. Without this, the rest of it don't matter.
Yes, sir. Performance, image, exposure, and spirituality. And all of it is really about growth, which is perfect for our guest today. But y'all know the routine. We'll get to all of the meat of that after the intro. Social media, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at This Is BTC. Go to the website. You can sign up for our weekly newsletter that's coming soon. thisisbtcpod.com. Email. Hit us up at the email. Continue to hit us up at the email. Send us your stories, your suggestions, your feedback, any topics, any guests that you'd like to see on, any types of guests that you'd like to see on. And that email is podbtc@gmail.com, podbtc@gmail.com.
And please hit share and like every time you see it.
Absolutely.
Share it with your friends. Help some more people out.
That's it. All right. It's time, brother. We've been waiting for a while to get to this. A round of applause for Mr. Xav Handfield.
Yeah.
He's a personal development coach, a speaker, food consultant, plant-based food consultant.
Hold on. He's the plant-based brother.
Plant-based brother.
The plant-based brother.
Look, put it this way. He just does dope stuff.
Hey, I try.
He does dope stuff.
It's good.
And I'll say this about the plant-based brother. It's on Instagram at the plant-based brother.
Yes.
When you see the stuff, it's vegan.
Check him out.
Plant-based.
Check him out.
It will make you feel guilty.
Not guilty.
But it looks very good and you want to try it.
Let's get it.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
All right, man. As you know, when we bring guests on for the first time, we like to let the audience get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
So we'll start there, man. We just want to get a little bit of your background. Like, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from. We'll start there. Yeah, where are you from originally?
I am originally from the greatest place on earth, the place with palm trees and beautiful people and diversity and great food. None other than
Detroit.
Wait, who? What? What? It's so cold in the D. It's so cold in the D. Nah.
I couldn't help it. All my peeps out there.
But I'm from Miami, Florida. Born and raised.
Yeah.
I went to college in Daytona Beach and in Orlando at Bethune-Cookman University.
I've heard a lot of things about
I'm a black
Bethune-Cookman.
expert. I wore this shirt just for that.
Yes, love it.
Huge
Love it.
HBCU advocate, and
Nice.
yeah, man, I like to help people level up in whatever it is that they do, and that started at a young age from my formative years in Miami with my village and my grandparents and just everybody. So that's kind of like what brought me to Houston and in this seat right now.
How long have you been in Houston?
September 27, 2012. So about to be 7 years.
Wow.
Craziness, man.
That's the year after I got here. I got here in 2011.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what was your original plan for your career? What Well, what did you get your degree in?
So my degree is in mass comm, but I started college as a as a political science major because I have a cousin in Miami and he does very well for himself. And I remember going to college and I was 17 years old and I was like, man, I want to be a lawyer, but I wanted to be a lawyer for all the wrong reasons. I wanted to wear Gucci loafers.
Yeah.
I wanted to wear tailor-made suits.
Get paid.
You feel me? I wanted to get paid.
Checks.
I wanted my mom to be like, yo, that's my son. He's a lawyer.
Right.
You know, he has this office on the water. But I got to college. I was like, nah, bro, this ain't it. It's not it. So I was 18 at that point, and I said, well, what can I see myself doing? And God deposited in me. He's like, bro, you're supposed to be a speaker. I was like, well, you know, what's I didn't know the who's, the what's, anything like that. But I just knew that mass communication was kind of like under that umbrella.
Yeah.
And PR advertising was the track because I like to talk. So it just kind of all made sense. So I was 18 years old. I changed my major. And that's when I first knew. I was like, bro, you probably going to be a speaker because it's something I've always done.
Right.
But I didn't know how it would kind of like materialize or manifest itself.
Right. Oh, that's dope, man.
So I could have been a lawyer out here in these streets, but Mercy said no.
So what's interesting, and you know, we'll table this and get your thoughts on it later. But a few episodes ago, we talked about, we had an episode called "Don't Chase the Money," and it was about kind of like what we had both learned over our careers. And we talked about like early on in our careers, it's like, yeah, I'm picking this career because it's about the checks.
Right.
But then as you kind of go and you see the struggles and the ups and downs of trying to climb the ladder and make it and things like that, you realize that the money comes once you develop other things, your skills, your person, yourself, right?
Are you talking about the 5 to 9? After your 9 to 5, you doing the 5 to 9?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So
That's exactly where we're
Okay.
He already getting started, baby.
And everybody that gets on the other side and figures out where it's at, understand that money follows excellence.
I like that.
Pick a field.
Yeah.
Because there's not a field we can talk about that somebody's not doing well in.
Right.
True.
But they're excellent. Whatever that is. Tiddlywinks, I don't care what, you know. So, yeah, money follows excellence. So, yeah.
I like that. I got to use that one.
Yeah.
Got you. So, started off as a political science, migrated to PR mass communications, and post-degree, have you done anything else? Or like what's been your 9 to 5 and where are you going to this point?
So even before that, so I graduated from college in 2009. We all know the recession kind of hit. The economy was crappy. And a goal that I always had was getting my master's. In the back of my mind, even in college, I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. But it's like speaking. I didn't know what I would sell or what service I would have. So I went to a school called Full Sail University in Orlando.
I know Full Sail.
So I went to Full Sail and I got my degree in entertainment business because I wanted to be an A&R. So I was like, okay, PR, A&R, working with people. So the common theme was people. And I love that. I love that grassroots process. So before they become Bieber or Taylor Swift, like, hey, we want to figure out what your image is going to be. We want to figure out, construct your specific sound, build up your social media following. So I love that stuff. And so that's what I wanted to do. So I got my degree in business and then I moved back home and I was kind of like dropped into education because I was 23. I needed a job and I didn't have any money.
Yep.
And I've been in the education sector ever since because I don't think I was supposed to be in entertainment. I just know I probably would have been ratchet. Man, I would have been living. Would I have been in church? I don't even know. But I went immediately into the education sector, and I've been there ever since. So
working with kids.
Yeah, kids, youth, young adults, that development. Because I know how those formative years were important for me and the people that I had in my life. So
absolutely. It's funny. It's funny. I used to say the same thing. Look, man, God didn't put me in the NBA for a reason. It probably would have been bad.
Yeah. All facts.
Yeah, it would have been
He's
bad.
trying to help everybody.
Everybody, man.
Man. So obviously your family is a big part of your community, right?
Yes.
Like how strong of an influence was your family and kind of what you like how you've developed your personal philosophy and your strategy so far?
Oh man, they were a huge part. My grandparents were they were individuals who came from strong families themselves, and they wanted to make sure their kids and their grandkids had the best education. Not necessarily the best education, but were educated. And they're very passionate about that and just helping individuals. So, you know, when I saw my grandparents and my parents and my aunts and uncles helping individuals going to get their master's degrees and things of that sort, that was just motivation for me.
Right.
And again, you know, when you educate yourself, and because I've been in education so long, I'm not this person that thinks like you can only be educated one way. When I was 21 years old, I was like, you got to go to college, or, you know, you're a loser or you're a failure.
Right.
But now that I'm 31 years old, I'm like, yo, no, education is going to YouTube University. Education is going to a trade school. Education is anything. And I try to impart that on the youth that I work with, because so many times they feel kind of like, man, I'm a failure. I don't want to go to college, or college isn't my thing. And I always say the wrong college is not your thing. And what I mean by that is when you go to, if Brian is a chef and I'm aspiring to be a chef, my college might be, hey, can I sit under your tutelage for 6 months?
Yeah.
You got to be audacious. You got to kind of put yourself out there. But that will be your version of college, and that's okay if it doesn't look like what society says or what your parents says and whatnot. So my family was they played a huge role in just personal development and just making sure, like, bro, we're expecting great things from you. We believe in you.
Right.
You can't just be, it wasn't like this overwhelming pressure, but it's like, no, we're expecting great things from you. And I'm like, okay, I appreciate that. Everybody doesn't have that.
It's interesting because just at this table, there are 3 different generations, right? So you say you're 31, so you just turned 31 this year?
Turned 32 this year.
Turned 32 this year, so you're 7 years behind me. So 87?
Yep.
Okay, cool. 87. I'm 80. This guy, well.
I remember there were horse and buggy. Okay. Yeah.
But one thing that I've kind of been thinking about recently is just the different views of work and career from the generational point of view. So you come from a generation where it's, hey, pensions, get in, stay for the 30, 35 years, retire.
Be good, keep your nose clean. And here's the scary thing. I'm a little envious of you guys, because you guys saw what happened to us, and we got jacked.
Yeah.
They took the pensions away, fired everybody. Now, it used to be, go work for this gold watch for 30 years.
Yeah.
And you had a pension, and you wouldn't die hungry with no insurance. And they took all that away, gave that back to the investors.
Wow.
And so now the people who worked their lifetime, you end up into that, you have nothing. Now, you guys saw that. You guys processed it, and that is dumb as heck. So we were working for the corner office, this recognition, they took all that out from underneath it.
Right.
Had we had some of the things you're talking about, we say, you know what, just be better, learn, grow, develop.
Yeah.
Oh man, we've been balling out of the world.
Seriously.
But we turned that part over to somebody else.
Right.
Dangerous.
And so the funny thing, I think we talked about this before too, but so like you're considered a millennial.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I'm considered a millennial. I'm right.
You're right at the edge of Gen X.
So I'm right between Gen X and the millennials.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I talked to a lot of my peers who are right around the same age. I'll be 39 tomorrow, actually.
Oh, wow. Happy early birthday.
Appreciate that. But it's interesting because a lot of us can understand where the Gen Xers are coming from, right? But we have a lot of millennial tendencies.
Absolutely. We understand where everybody's coming from.
We're big on causes. We're big on fairness. We're big on multiple streams of income. We're big on not putting all your eggs in one basket, you know, and that type of thing. We're big on helping people too. You know what I mean? And so, you know, I just like that's something that I find interesting. And coming up behind us, I think in a few weeks, our sponsor, he's a young guy too. I think he's like 20, 23, 24.
Oh, wow.
So that's an even
young
perspective.
Yeah.
You know,
Generation Z, they call it.
Because he's not a millennial. He's a younger.
Generation Z, they call it. The globalist.
So here's a question for you, right? So everybody can't. Well, I'm gonna say everybody can't be. Everybody doesn't want to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
Some people are just fine.
Working for somebody.
They know where that check is coming from every week.
Yep.
I know I'm exchanging my time for this money.
It's all good.
I want to get up the ladder and get into an even more comfortable spot or whatever. But I feel like you should still apply entrepreneurial concepts even in your push
Absolutely.
for a 9-to-5 career. What do you think about that?
I think I agree. There's this meme I saw on Instagram. It's an old meme, but it was like, find a hobby that keeps you creative. Find a hobby that allows you to be in shape or something. And find a hobby to make you money. And that's true. I have friends that are like, yo, man, I'm good. I don't want to do your thing as far as entrepreneurship. And I say you don't have to, but just kind of find a passion project. I think those things are so important. I love Instagram. I'm going to just keep making references. Yeah. And I just sent a whole bunch of my homies this video of this dude named Prince, and he was just talking about, monetize your skills. The correct pronunciation is niche, but I always say it's riches in the niches. So if you have this like specific niche, like my friend was just telling me, like her cousin is doing closet renovation or whatnot. How many of us don't have a junky closet? Everybody knows somebody with a junky closet. You feel me? I know you got you got your wife. You know what I mean? So you're good on that.
She's pretty good. She was doing some stuff the other day, and I was like, hey,
I surrender.
You got computer, this. I got you.
But there's a niche for everybody. Right. So I totally believe that if you can keep your 9 to 5, but even if it doesn't make you money, find something to keep you creative. Start a blog post. Yeah. You know what I mean? Oh, are you a mom that's balancing X, Y, and Z? Because there's going to be somebody that resonates with your story and your voice. There are other moms that do X, Y, and Z, but it might be something special about your voice and who you are and your personality. And maybe you have a child with autism, and I do as well. And, we connect on that commonality. So I think it's very important to do that.
Yeah. Used a phrase called passion project. And it resonated. I heard a speaker years ago, might have been a preacher or something. He said, God gives us gifts, right? Not gift. Gifts. We are all way more talented than we give ourselves credit for.
Facts.
Yeah.
Because the world puts us in this little box,
yes.
and we march in, and we march out, and we march in.
Not even just the world.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, even the way we were raised puts us in a box.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So I remember, and trust me, I don't blame my parents at all. They were doing the best
that they knew, yeah.
So I'm originally from small town in Mississippi, man. You never heard of Metcalf, right?
Is that in Macomb County?
Where's that there?
No, it's in Washington County.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's on the west side. We're right on the river.
Okay.
So we're about an hour and a half south of Memphis.
Okay.
Okay.
So growing up there, man, you have to go to college.
Right.
Because you got to get out of here.
Get out of here, right.
Right.
So you got to get out of here.
Yeah. So it's like the expectation in my house was, no, sir, you're not going to be working at Walmart. And there ain't no disrespect to people working at Walmart.
Right.
But it's just the expectation was, I want you to do better than this.
Yeah.
Do better than what we have.
The American dream?
Yeah, man.
Do better than your parents? Do better than your grandparents?
Yeah, pretty much, right? And so I remember having a vision for myself, and the older I've gotten, I think back on it like, man, I suppressed it.
Wow.
I suppressed it because it was like, man, like I really enjoyed writing when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I remember taking this creative writing class my sophomore year, and my English teachers talking to my parents and me like, why aren't you doing this more? And I was like, writers don't make money. Little did I know.
Writers make money.
Man.
But I put that to the side. I used to be able to draw pretty well. I put that to the side. I was like, okay, these computers and money. Those are the two things, the two careers that are going to be definite, ain't going nowhere, da-da-da-da.
Fact.
And so that's what I went after.
Yep.
Finance and IT.
And yeah. And sure enough, in my 30s, I hit a large period of like deep dissatisfaction with where I was.
Yep.
And that's when I started writing the plays. That's when I started, we started collaborating on the podcast, and I found my creative spirit again. And I'm like, oh, that's what
it was there all along.
So my goal for myself was always to kind of have my own thing, but I suppressed it. So what I end up running into a lot at work is I talk to peers, and I'm trying to encourage people, man, but I see people who are dissatisfied with where they are. And especially for black people, man, I'm like, look, we go into these corporations, which are 99% not us. Like 99 straight up, not us, right? And, we're exchanging our time, and we're getting upset when we don't get more crumbs. So I'm like, yo, like, we should focus on I don't care about everybody else. It's like, cool.
Yeah.
Like, I love you as a human.
Right, of course.
My black people, my people of color, we need to focus on having more than one stream of income in order to take some of the pressure off of the 9 to 5 to help us be able to get more results.
Yeah. Couple of things I got to throw in here. Carter G. Woodson wrote a book trillions of years ago called The Miseducation of the Negro. And what he talked about how we're educated.
Right.
Now, and I will stop. If the brothers are telling me it's rough out here, it's unfair treatment, that's a true thing. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Because I'm still going to eat and I'm still going to have a good life.
Yeah.
Couple of things. I'm going to maximize my abilities and skills, and I have a higher power. So there's no reason for me to have a bad life. So whoever's listening to this, unfair things have happened to you. Look, unfair things have happened to all of us.
All of us, yep.
There's no reason that God and the skills he gave you can't blow up past that. But here's the issue I have, and I'm pointing at baby boomers because there's some people my age now that are looking back. You're talking about dissatisfied where you are?
Right.
They're looking back on, what the so-and-so happened?
Man.
Where was my life? And I've heard people say, I gave my life to this corporation. Well, as Fred Sanford used to say, you big dummy, you gave your life to a corporation, which is a soulless entity?
Yeah.
Okay, that's on you. And what were we reaching for? I'm going to be very honest. I'm one of the corner office. I got a chance to be a vice president in a billion-dollar company.
Right.
I couldn't wait to flash that card.
Yep.
I'm a vice president. But I called Pop. You know, Pop got the spiritual thing going.
Yeah.
He said, congratulations. He said, how you feeling? I said, well, I just came out the bathroom. And we both fell out laughing. You VP or not, you're going to have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Dude, we made an artificial place that does not exist on the planet for where we think we want to be. But you're talking about a self-development. It's like, be the best you can be. The money will follow. But that thing we were chasing, it doesn't exist.
And that's a perfect segue to kind of what I want to get your insight on is how do you start to understand your value and your purpose?
Oh man, that's a great. So let's start from the what you guys were just talking about as far as the professional route. I consider myself a parallelpreneur. So,
yeah, boy, you breaking out some terms and I'm loving over here.
So,
okay, come on, break it down.
I need my thesaurus.
No, stop it. I'm gonna break it down.
I love this. Let's go.
So, the company that brought me from Miami to Houston, it was God, but I'm indebted to them. High key, low key, for just getting me out of Houston, just give me the opportunity. And so, things were kind of shaky with that job. I'm still with them, kind of, sort of. I literally have one foot out the door, but I realized, kind of like what you both said, that people are not going to pay you what you're worth. They're going to pay you just enough to pay your little bills and come back from Monday through Friday. And when I started realizing that, I was like, no, bro, this is not life. Something has got to give. So I think it was like 2014, 2015, I was with the company. I was supposed to get a couple raises. I was one of the highest performing, because my job was pretty much education sales, getting people to learn about colleges and just expose high school students to the different paths that are available for themselves.
Gotcha.
So, it was definitely education sales. It was a quota. I had to meet a certain number. I'm killing the numbers. I'm supposed to have gotten a raise or a bonus like twice. It never came. They went through money issues. It was a lot. Like, when I write my book,
Yes, sir. We're waiting on that.
Everything is going to be out there. But no, seriously, I think that when you come to those realizations that, these jobs don't really care about you, one, and then two, I'm like you guys. I felt kind of bad because I had all these gifts and these skills and these talents, but I felt like I had to put them in this box.
Right.
I was really good at social media. I'm a millennial, so social media popped at that time. I was like, man, I could do, and this was before I got into my career. I can get into social media management. I can get into public speaking. I can stay in and be an educator. I can do so many great things because of my personality, because I have my master's in business or whatever the case may be. But I was like, nah, what is it that you can truly see yourself doing? So that's when I started speaking, and, someone from Fondren Church gave me an opportunity, like, hey, can you come speak to the youth choir? I was like, yeah, that's like 2014. I was like, this is something that I can see myself doing. So I started my company, Call Me Xav. I love acronyms. Xav is my name, of course, but it stands for excellence, achievement through accountability, and victory through value. I'm really big on just knowing your value, being victorious, all that good stuff. So I started in 2014, and it was just, I had that wake-up call to say, hey, bro, I'm dissatisfied. I'm not happy. I feel like I could be doing more. And I always say I'm a bad millennial because millennials, they do not stay at jobs that do not serve them. And I'm still with this company 7 years later, and this job has not been serving me, bro. And yeah, man, I'm a bad millennial because,
Listen. So yeah, I'm a bad millennial too. I've been with this company through mergers and acquisitions and stuff. I think a total of we're going on 12 years now.
Jeez.
Yeah, 12 years, right? I mean, clearly I have a wife and 3 kids, right? So I got some bills to pay.
I will tell you, the older you get, the more conservative you get.
Yeah,
because life will do that.
Yeah.
So don't feel bad, y'all.
Okay.
But the way I started to look at my job was, okay, cool. I got these responsibilities. They're paying me decent.
Yeah.
I've gotten to a level within the company. I work a typical corporate job. I sit at a desk all day. I've gotten to the level in the company where I have a ton of flexibility in my day.
That part.
Right.
Yep.
And so I'm able to, I hope ain't nobody from the office listening, but I'm able to kind of work on my exit strategy. Right.
Yeah.
While helping people there.
Yep.
Right. While also taking care of my family.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so it's I think that question that you ask, like, how do I see myself? Right. Is the trigger. Because that's kind of what I'm trying to help people understand. Because when I'm telling you, bro, almost on a daily basis, I get somebody to stop by my desk. And the conversation is almost the same. Like, yo, I ain't doing nothing. I'm bored. I feel like I'm losing brain cells. And I'm constantly like, well, what else do you like doing?
Yeah.
How do you see yourself? But I think people can't really verbalize, even within their own minds, like how they see themselves and where they can see themselves. And I think they're stuck right there. And they start to feel like they don't know their value.
Right.
And so they stay dissatisfied.
Is this all there is?
Yeah.
Now, you just said something, and I had, when I met you through your creative side, and then we got a chance to talk, and I found out, you locked up at the plantation like everybody else.
So you're an accountant?
Yeah. I'm like, dude, my mind messed up.
Yeah.
Because I typecast accountants. I work in corporate. I'm like,
Yeah.
He ain't no accountant.
Nah, yeah, that's me.
He got personality. He's cool. And he writes. No, dude. Something's wrong with it.
Right.
He can't be. But as we got a chance to dialogue, I'm sitting there listening to this guy, and I hear multiple talents coming up. You know, I got a chance to see you. We were at a Christian camp. I got a chance to see you present and do what you did. And you enrolled so many people, and we were drawn to your message. We want to be healthier. We want to be in a better spot. And I'm like, Now, as I'm listening to your story now, I'm like, okay, almost became a lawyer, business masters, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
He's up helping me not to clog my arteries.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you what I think I saw. I see, because I'm always looking for the divine hand.
For sure.
I see something coming through both of you guys, and all of us as we talk about on hours on end, to help other people.
Right.
I think whatever you do, if it can help somebody else, it rocks the world, and there's this unseen force behind you that helps his other kids. So when you were finished, we're sitting there, and I'm like, man, I promise, after listening to what you talked about, the arthritis is out. Y'all gonna hear that later.
He said
the arthritis is out of his right hand, just based on what we were talking about back then.
Wow.
So that's, and because you can be used to help other people, and because that's that passion, that comes from a different place, man. That comes from a higher power.
Right.
So in 2013, I heard Ty Tribbett. He said, because we all want to, let's just be real. We all want to make money. We want to have nice things. We want to take care of our families.
Absolutely.
He said, let me show you how you get money. This was in like a church, Higher D or something like that. And he was just for their March Madness or something. And he was just like, this is how you make money. Create a solution to a problem.
Yes.
How many 8 billion people in the world? There are going to be black women, Asian women, black men that have this problem that only you can fix. And I was just like, yo, man, I think about the lady who created Spanx. She saw that there was a need in the market. Women wanted to feel sexy in their gowns when they're going to galas or whatnot. She created this product and is a multi-billionaire because what woman doesn't want to feel nice or not see those lumps when they're going to their wedding or whatever the case may be. She saw a need in the marketplace and just kind of like did her thing. That's inspiring, man.
And it was crazy because I've heard her story. I watch Shark Tank and she's always on there too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and men were making these girdle products, and she's like, you're not making it right.
And they didn't even know how to do it.
Exactly. Because to them, it's just a money thing.
Yeah.
For her, it was her personal solution.
Exactly.
And that became a worldwide solution for women. You know what I mean?
Wow.
All facts.
Yeah, all facts. It's crazy. But you're right. Absolutely. Spirituality, man. Actually, you know what? Well, yeah, let's go spiritual. So clearly, spirituality is a huge part of your journey.
Yes, sir.
How early did it start?
Dun dun dun. Like maybe like my relationship with God. I grew up in the church, and
let me ask it a different way.
Yeah.
Because there's a cycle of people, especially in the Black community, who kind of grow up in and around a church environment. Even if it's, hey man, my family goes to church every Sunday.
Right.
By the time we hit that 18, 19 mark, when we get our independence, in a way, we bolt.
Yeah.
We bolt the routine at least. The values and stuff to me are still there.
Right.
But we bolt the routine of constantly trying to communicate and have a relationship with God. So when in your adult life did it come back and just kind of solidify for you?
So in college, I have a twin sister, and in college, it's just you have a built-in personal accountability.
Oh man!
So we both got baptized at 16. We both went to college. Of course, you do some crazy stuff in college and stuff like that.
Same college?
We did.
Okay.
Went to the same college.
She can bust on you, man.
What'd you say?
She can bust on you.
Hey, she's just like, bro. She if all my twins can know you have that one twin that just can really, say the right things. Like, yo, man, you need to tighten up, or this, that, and the third. So she's my built-in accountability. But when I went to grad school, I just, I was still going to church, but my heart was far away from God.
Yeah.
So then I moved back home to Miami. I was like 22 or something like that, and I was still going to church, but again, my heart was far from God, and it was just like this random Saturday night, and they had some consecration service. I was like, man, I need to do this thing back right with God, and I had just moved back home to Miami 3 weeks earlier, and that kind of like set the path or the tone in my adulthood. I was like 22, 23, 2010, whenever age I was at that age, in that year. And then I got rebaptized maybe at like 24 back home in Miami, and or 26 or something like that. But
that's about right.
Yeah. It's
about the age.
Yeah, I'm serious. It's about the age.
Because I wanted to just do things right. So spirituality is such a huge part of my life, because going through college and graduate school and being a young adult, I always say why I got rebaptized was because, what else am I going to do? Where else am I going to go? Like, I tried the world. It was cool. And we got to be, in spiritual circles, we got to be real and say, yeah, it is cool and it does feel good, but that stuff is fleeting.
Yeah.
And I had that mindset. I was like, man, I can't go anywhere else. When you experience God and when you know what he's brought you from, I remember I graduated from Bethune-Cookman. I didn't know what I want to do with my life. I think I was the first time I was like a little bit depressed. I remember just being in the bed, just graduated.
Hey man,
so what's gonna happen now?
It's just like,
this is a real thing.
It's real.
It's a real thing. I graduated from Oakwood. I went to Oakwood College. It's for those who are listening who might not know, it's a small HBCU in Huntsville, Alabama. Right. It's part of the Seventh-day Adventist Church or whatever. I graduated from there in 2003. From May 2003, my grandmother passed in July 2003. She held on long enough for me to graduate.
Yep.
Anybody who knew me growing up know I love my grandmother to death.
So she waited.
Yeah, it hit me hard. It hit me pretty hard.
Yeah.
But from about that July 2003 all the way to like December 2004.
Whoa.
All I remember, literally, all I really remember was closing down bars and smoking weed most of the day, going to work, close down the bar, wake and bake, go to work, close. That was my routine for a year and a half. And it wasn't until a good friend of mine came back, because he left Oakwood to go and take care of some personal stuff, and he came back, and he became a theology major. He's
better.
Right. The pastors.
He's looking at me like, bro, you
this
not
ain't
good.
Yeah.
Wasted.
And he got me off the couch and got me back into life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Deion Johnson, if you're listening, shout out, boy. But he got me back into life. And it wasn't until years later that I look back at that time like, dang, I was depressed like a mom.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't know what was next.
You don't know what's going on, right?
I was 23.
Yeah.
All the parents did was make sure you got to college.
That's all it.
On the other side of that, you'd be like, oh man, if you can just get through.
In fairness, and you know this just as well as I do, because Bethune-Cookman is one of the big historically black universities, right? But education was withheld and restricted from us for so long
that it became the thing.
Yeah, that our parents were like, well, this is the thing that they're holding back, and this is the way that you are going to be able to get somewhere in life.
Absolutely.
To be on a level playing field. And so that became the focus of us leveling up as people.
And now we're learning
there are other paths.
There are other paths.
Yeah.
And not only, I'll give this, I don't want to send anybody over the edge out there, but there was a good friend of mine, brilliant person. They got their master's and they walked in. They were so proud to their boss in corporate America. And got my master's. And the boss said, that's nice, but that's not going to get you anything here.
Whoa.
Because the people that run the company don't have their masters. The multi-million-dollar people that run the company don't have it. So what happens, you're now getting now what did I do this for? And you're getting a little bit disaffected. Now here's the real thing. That education was awesome. Don't downplay that. Because God allowed that to be poured into you so that your intellect was stimulated. You guys are brainy. So what you were going through then was the training that your brain needed. It's called academic stamina. Your brain needs that problem solving. How do I get to that? I can think. I want to reinforce that I can think. But achieving the degree is kind of like achieving the black belt. We talk about somebody walking in to work with a PhD. I've had 3 cases in the last year we share about them. People that brilliant. Walked into work, I'm a PhD. They've been getting killed. Why would you say I'm a PhD and your boss doesn't have a PhD? In a hierarchy, and an entrepreneurial, rock that thing. In a hierarchy, you're my boss. What does that do? I got a PhD.
I feel inferior.
I feel inferior.
Absolutely.
That'd be like, if I walk in with a black belt, I better know how to tap some behind.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm going to get tested.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That triggers
let me see if he's really that good. So our conceptualization of education, God allowed it to be there so that your mind could work. And you would find out, hey, I can think. I can figure this out.
Right.
But it's not a badge. It's training. And a lot of times people wear it as a badge and nobody here gives a
nobody
rest about your badge.
I saw something that said, you don't need a degree to be a business owner, but you need a degree to work for one. I'm like, so that ties into what you just said.
Yeah, ask Bill Gates.
Right, yeah. And you have no degree.
He went back later, but...
Yeah, but in the grand scheme of things, if we really, really think about it, it's backwards.
It is.
It's backwards. But we've been so conditioned over the generations to just go down these paths because it's the thing, what we consider the guaranteed thing right in front of us, right?
Yeah.
2 more things I want to hit before we get out on this episode. I want to talk about how to find your confidence and just any tips that you have on how to develop a personal development strategy.
Oh, that's good. That's good. How to develop confidence. Oh, man. So I've had the opportunity to work with a couple youngsters. I remember last summer, a friend of mine had a son. He's like, yo, he's going into middle school. I want you to, because I did personal development. I want you to help him with his confidence. He walks with his head down. He's a boy. Talk to him about hygiene and you can't be smelling funky in middle school. They're going to clown you, So I definitely say in order to develop confidence, you need to probably talk to someone that you kind of like idolize in the sense of like a mentor. I'm big on mentorship. And I have mentors in like different sectors. Some are doctors, some are entrepreneurs and whatnot. So I feel like find someone that has confidence and ask them to do an assessment. And it's not it's just like, hey, having a conversation with you. What are some of your strengths lie? Because think about it, if you know that you're the best basketball player in Houston or you the best singer in the Southwest region or whatnot, you're going to rock that. And you're going to kind of like, you're going to wear that as like a badge of honor.
Right.
So when you find someone that you kind of like, man, this person has confidence, this person is doing things or conducts themselves in a way that I aspire to be, say, yo, can you give me an assessment? Just kind of see how I can get more confidence and just finding those things that you're good at. Number one, I would say another way to get confidence too is affirmations. Man, I'm big on that.
I was just about to ask.
Yeah, man, I'm big on that.
You're big on that.
I used to, when I was younger, of course, I used to put some stuff on my mirrors and things of that sort. But say those affirmations because, I read something on Instagram, of course, and it was just like, yo, your brain believes everything that your heart believes. So if you believe, man, I'm not good enough, like, no, we're really going to start feeling like we're not good enough. And my confidence is going to plummet if I have those limiting beliefs. So say those affirmations, get in touch with someone that has confidence, like a mentor or something. And the third thing I would say to get more confidence is just put yourself out there. And I say that with a caveat. Everybody doesn't have my personality. I can put myself out there. There are people who have social anxiety and that are ridiculously introverted and shy, but put yourself out there in terms of helping other people. You know what I mean? So you might not be like, hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, I'm Xav and this, that, and the third, but you might go into a situation like, let's say, a volunteering event or a church and just use like your gifts, like, hey, how can I help you? That's going to give you confidence to kind of like push through it. Like, hey, these people see something like, yo, Brian, thank you for volunteering at the food drive, man. You're really good at X, Y, and Z. And last but not least, how to develop a personal development strategy.
Yes, sir.
I would definitely say, and these are things that I focus on, make sure that you are reading. When you're able to read different things, personal development books, you can't read everything, I don't think, but just read a couple things. A lot of us don't like to read. I don't read as much as I should, but I do get on YouTube because I'm able to watch people like Brandon Burchard and, these individuals that are killing the game. And it's like, yo, I have to level up because I know that it's in me. So, get on YouTube and make sure that you are communicating effectively. I'm majoring in communications. So that's something I'm always honing in on wherever I go. How can I communicate effectively with you? Yesterday, I posted a video on Instagram and it was received way better than I thought it would. But it was talking about having emotional intelligence and having a high emotional quotient. That is personal development. When you do not allow individuals, I mean, I used to do that, but now I don't allow individuals to kind of bring me down. And when you're able to do that, your life is able to change because you're not swayed either way by the stuff that's happening in the world or on your job or with your family. It's like, nah, that's not going to break me down from who I am. Right. And I think last thing I would say for the personal development strategy is make sure that you have kind of like the mentorship with the confidence, but make sure that you have an accountability because there are individuals that believe in you so much. There are individuals that believe in Brian, that believe in Eric. It's like, yo, man, I kind of want to do that. Or, I can't be on a podcast. I can't be a podcast host, but you, man, you're rocking it. So find individuals that believe in you and that pour into you, man. And that has helped me tremendously because when I don't have confidence to get out the bed, they're like, yo, man, there's a calling on your life. Yeah. There are people that need you. There are people that won't be able to get to the other side if you weren't born. And I'm like, yo, okay, so I need to keep those individuals around that believe in me.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing right there. Yeah, that is true. Like everybody has a purpose somewhere in this world, and somebody wouldn't be able to do what they do if it wasn't for X person. That's dope.
I won't do too much theology on that, but that comes from a good book.
Yeah.
Everybody was created with gifts to bless other people.
Other people.
Yeah. So you're spot on.
We don't have gifts to be cool or to be cute. It's like, nah, that gift is to help somebody. Yeah.
Even if you're cool and cute.
Right.
You're supposed to bless that person with you. All you cool, cute people out there, don't be freaking like, we're not hating on you being cool and cute.
Yeah. All right, man. So our last segment is called Final Thoughts, where we just kind of put a bow on the episode.
Yes, sir.
We'll just go around the table and give our final thoughts. E, what you got?
I got performance from him. You got to bring some to get some.
Yes, sir.
And you were always on the hustle, always on the grind. And I see that now. I watch you. I'm amazed. I'm not amazed that you're doing it, but I'm amazed at youth. And I know youth is relative. I just ain't got no young relatives. But no, I look at you and I'm saying, okay, I watch what you bring every time I get a chance to hear you speak or get out and do something. And that is going to be rewarded. For every action, there's going to be a reaction. It doesn't come back to you empty. So I just admire that about you, bro.
What you got?
Thank you. When I walked in here, we were just talking about job and just and not being happy. And I think that we should not negate or discount faith, man. One of my favorite quotes by Dr. Martin Luther King is, faith is taking the first step, even when you can't even see the staircase. So me being a parallelpreneur, entrepreneur, someone that works for myself. Appreciate it, bro. You can use it, man. Please use it. I got it for somebody.
I'm ripping you, baby.
Parallelpreneur. Keep going.
So I had taken that faith to start that passion project or that gift. It's like so many people are sitting here, you know, and we were there once upon a time.
Yes.
So many people are sitting there having these thoughts like, man, maybe I can do it. You just got to step out on faith, man. It's like Steve Harvey says, jump. Yeah. So I got that from today, man. Final thoughts, just jump, whatever that thing is.
My final thought is we got to do, man. Like when I tell y'all about the people that I come in contact with on a daily basis that kind of come to me for various pieces of advice or who've asked me to mentor them. Like when I say it really gets me in the heart, because I just, especially my brown and black people, I want to see us
do something,
thrive,
be better and thrive. And so like sometimes it'll bring a tear to my eye when I hear people say like, man, I'm just not happy with what I'm doing, but I don't know what, and da. And it's just like, we got to do. So the things that I got from you today, bro, especially about like trying to understand like your value, like just asking yourself like, who am I? Like, and where do I see myself? And if you can't get past that question, then it's like, okay, we got to go talk to someone. Go talk to someone you trust to tell you the truth. Go talk to someone that you admire. You know what I mean? And that type of thing. So we just got to do. And then, because after you do that, do something.
Do something.
Because that's the only way you're really going to find that other thing.
Absolutely.
To kind of keep you going.
Love that.
All right, man. Y'all know what it is. With Xav, we got some more episodes coming with him.
Let's get it.
Yes, sir. I don't know what episode number this is yet, but anyway.
It's a bunch. We made it through a year. Now we're on year number 2.
Yes, it.
Crazy.
Anyway, share, listen, share, and just review, man. Keep passing the word along. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all support. We hope you guys are really getting some value out of this content. And see y'all next week.
Let's get it. Peace.